April is going to be a different kind of month, okay? And God is going to have to show up, all right? But in today's video, I am going to be planning for the month of April financially. And this is where I do pretty much an overview for the month. So if you want to see how I'm doing that on a very low to the low income, let's get into it. If you are here for the very first time, my name is Jasmine, aka Budget Treasures, and here on my channel we talk about all things budgeting, with the emphasis on saving money, paying off debt, and budgeting. All things finance. Oh Lord, I forgot my intro. Anyway, thank you so much for clicking on this video and giving it a watch. I hope that I say something that will cause you to subscribe to the channel and come back for more. If you are returning bestie, hey girl, hey. All right, so you guys know how we do things for each month. Normally what I do is I plan for the upcoming month financially. I don't complete an overall budget because I'm a paycheck to paycheck budgeter. And I do feel as though it's easier for me to budget my finances by just doing it paycheck to paycheck. However, I do find it very valuable to go inside and plan for the month, just so that I know where my bills are going to be due. And then also I'm planning to see like when my paydays will be, and all of the different activities that I have for the month as well, which play a huge part when it comes to our budgets. So I am going to be budgeting for April, or I'm going to be doing the overview for April. It is important to know that this is the very first month where I will have no supplemental pay at all. All of that money is done. It has been paid to me, and I am moving forward with only one work income, if you will, which is unemployment. So let's get into it. The very first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to put down all of the stickers, which shows when I will be receiving my unemployment payment and when all of my bills are due, and any events that I have for the month. So I'm gonna play some lovely music for you guys while I show you how I do that.
Dream with me, let your mind explore all the things we were created for, possibilities, an open door that keeps us reaching out for more. Don't know it, so I listen for my inner voice. Carry the winds, drown out the rain, but will it make sense without the pain? Won't color me blue.
Let's get into the details. So I have the normal bills due this month for the month of April. I have my mortgage due, which I already have. Praise God for that. I have my HOA, of course, have that. Sirius XM. I have Hulu $2.99, internet cable $138.77, 80 excuse me, ADT $59.99. My electric bill. My electric bill is out. I just have to see how much it is. but electric bill is due. Then my BFF has her birthday on April the 12th. And life insurance, $117.04. The gym, $32.99. And then going down to the end of the month, my car insurance, you guys, went up. It went up from $175 to $219. Absolutely crazy. Just absolutely crazy. So we'll get into that a little bit later, and I'll definitely discuss what I'm going to do about this. And I have the normal utility bills due at the end of the month, which is my solar bill, my gas bill. This is a debt, court debt, Apple and Netflix. Of course, those are not utility bills, but those are due at the end of the month as well. And the days that I should receive my unemployment, if I submit my claims by Sunday, I should be receiving payment by Tuesday of that week. So I just have it listed here as Tuesday the 1st, and then Tuesday the 15th, and then Tuesday the 29th, I should be receiving that payment. And then I have my YouTube paycheck that comes out on the 21st of every month. And I do have my own products as well that I do sell, and I usually would take the money out on the 25th of every month. That's sort of like a payday that I gave for myself. But for this month, for April, I probably will just take it out on the 25th, but I'm not for certain yet, so I didn't list it. So as far as the bills and the paydays, those are already down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the tab over, and here is where I'm going to list what my priorities are for the month of April, what's important to handle, and then any notes that I have for myself. So I am going to write that out right now. All right, let's go ahead and talk about what my priorities are for the month of April, and then some important things to note here. So definitely my goal is to increase my income in any kind of way. So I will be doing job searches. I will be looking for jobs. And then I will be looking to increase the income within my business. I have been looking, and I did get some, I've gotten 3 emails back, 3 or 4, that I wasn't moving forward in even to an interview. So that was, kind of sad to hear, but, it didn't make me super sad as I thought it would be, as I thought it would have, because I've really just been praying and trusting God. Definitely doing a no spend challenge for the month of April. Now, I will say, in my no spend challenge, I will be taking a trip in April. My best friend is having a birthday trip. It's a very, very low cost birthday trip. And when I say low cost, it's probably like $300. If I am budgeting and controlling what I spend, the room was $130. That's already done. We've already paid for the car. Like, all of that has already been paid for. The only thing I need to do is eat. So, you know what I mean? So it's a very low cost trip. But my best friend wants to do something for her birthday. There's been a lot of things that have happened. And so she kind of needs to get away. And I quite frankly need to get away too. But because it's a very low cost trip, I accepted to go. And I had another trip planned in January of this year. In February, it was like the beginning of February, to Costa Rica. And I wasn't able to go because of my job situation. I unfortunately had to back out of the trip with my friends because, it would not have been a great idea to go spend thousands of dollars, and I was in a laid off state. So that's one trip that I did cancel and wasn't able to go. This one I'm gonna go. But like I said, it's not gonna cost much for me to go at all. And so yeah, so increasing the income, looking for a job, but then also increasing my business income. I put out kind of like a poll yesterday. I asked you guys on the video I did if you would be interested in a credit workbook. And the credit workbook is to help you manage your credit cards. I think it's pretty valuable because we don't know how to strategically use our credit cards. I know I definitely did not know. And I learned through, the process, and what I've done has been working greatly. So I asked you guys if you wanted me to create a workbook for you guys, if you would be interested in it, and enough of you said yes, that you would be interested. And I think this is really good, especially if you're trying to rebuild your credit. I know here a lot that I've in the past I've said, no, credit is bad, don't do that, but honestly it's just because I was uninformed and uneducated on the process. Now, everyone's not the same. There are some people who are really like, say no to credit cards, don't do it, it's horrible, don't. And I agree with those people when you don't know how to manage credit cards. I 1000% agree, and that was once for me as well. It was like, nope to credit. Now, however, that I am more educated and disciplined, which is really important, I have started using my credit cards, but I'm using them very strategically. I have a plan and a purpose, and I know what credit cards I'm using for certain, or I know what purchases I'm putting on what credit card and why I'm putting those purchases on that credit card. Even when it comes down to shopping for credit cards, there's a science to it, and it's just being very strategic. And so that is the reason why I want to share. It's not easy, and sometimes you might need like a workbook to help you out. I had created something personally for myself to help me stay on track, and it definitely has helped. And so I want to share that with you guys if you are interested. So be looking forward to that digital product that will come out. And then I'm working on one of my heart's desires products, a couple of them, but this one I'm kind of excited. Well, I'm excited about both of them, but I'm really excited about this one, so stay tuned for that. And then daily expense tracking is going to be a MUST. Okay, I got to make sure I know where all my dollars are going. I do not want any of them to grow legs. For example, this morning, as a matter of fact, I need to write a note here, because I just remembered as I'm talking. Remember, some of you guys may remember a couple of months ago, I went to get my my annual mammogram. It had been my first one, and when I went to the imaging center, they charged me $341. You guys probably remember that story, and I was like, oh my God, but I'm happy I have the money to pay. So I paid the bill or whatnot. Everything was great, moved on. I wake up this morning, get a text from my bank and saying, so I have on my credit cards, I have a limit, an alert set on my credit cards that lets me know once I get to a certain percentage of the balance used to send me daily alerts. So that's another tip for you as well. You could do that on your savings account as well. I'm sure you could do this with all banks, but I do have alerts on my accounts as well, and one of them is the credit card. So I got an alert this morning that said, your credit card balance is over the limit that you set. So I was like, oh, a bill must have came through or whatnot. But then I was thinking, like, I don't have any bills. It's only the 25th, and the other bill that I had, which was my insurance, I paid it ahead of time. So I'm not sure really what that is. So whatever. So I went into the app and I saw that the breast screening people charged me again. Right now the actual charge is pending, but they charged me another $341. So I called them like, hey, why are you guys double charging me for this? I already charged it. I paid it. I have the receipt right here. And the lady was saying that I guess they just put the billing through. And if you know anything about medical billing, they don't, sometimes when they're sending the payment over to the insurance, you know, they're like late when it comes to billing. So she was like, oh, it's not going to go through. And I said, well, I don't even understand why you charge me, because I should have nothing to do with this. But whatever, it just better not hit my account. That's all I'm going to tell you. And so as we're talking, she also said, oh, and also when we got the evidence of billing, I think it was either the EOB or whatever they send to the provider. She said, when we got that back, we should not have charged you the $341. That should have been free. It should have been covered. So we're actually going to give you a credit of the $341 that you had paid back in January. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Because I really was confused on why I had been charged. So I'm going to be getting a credit for that. She said if it was on a credit card, it takes about 7 to 10 days. And it was on my credit card. So what will happen is once I get that credit, I'm going to be in a positive or negative status, if you will, where I'll have a credit on my credit card for $341. And once that happens, I'm going to let my bills that I already have on my credit card on auto pay, I'm just going to let the credit pay the bills, which would be a great help for me this month. So I hope that made sense. But if it didn't, that's why you're going to need the credit workbook. So you know how that works. But anyway, yeah, so that was a story that you probably didn't need, but yeah, so I need to make sure that I get my credit for that. There's 2 credits. One, to make sure that what they charge today never hits my account. And then the second one needs to be, the second one I should be getting a credit to the account. And then also, I need to decrease my bills. I've made the decision to go ahead and cancel Spectrum. And that's going to save me some money. And I'll just pay for internet. And then car insurance. Those people, I cannot stand State Farm. Like, I just don't understand why they increase my bill so much. You know, a couple of dollars here and there, I get it. But how I go from $175 to and then before I was paying I went from $109 to $130 something to $170 something, now to $219. So I'm gonna look to find another insurance company, even if it's not from a reputable company, because this is just ridiculous. This is the reason why, I don't know if I ever told you guys that my mortgage went up, because State Farm increased my home insurance. And so of course, when your home insurance increases, your mortgage increases as well. And that's exactly what happened. I'm just too through with State Farm. Just too through. Especially what they did with the fires too, when they let all those people go. Just done with them. So with that being said, pretty set up for April. And once I receive my unemployment checks out, of course be budgeting those, but I'll be budgeting out of my bill account. Okay. So here's where I need to write my priorities and then what's important, and then definitely looking ahead. So here are my priorities, and then my top 3 priorities, and then if I have other priorities, I'll write them here. So let me go ahead and do that really quick. All right, so I've completed my priorities for the month of April, but I've put them kind of individually, the majority from what we just went over, so kind of no need to go over it again. Now, the next and last thing that I need to do is prepare for my no spend for the month of April. if you are interested in going on a no spend with me, I encourage you to do so. And I also want to let you guys know that I also have a no spend workbook that is available for you if you need some assistance on how to properly plan out a no spend for yourself. And I really love it because it's 6 developmental steps that you kind of walk through or work through, and it helps you to maintain success. One of the things about no spend challenges is sometimes we go all or nothing. And I know when we go all or nothing, sometimes we're worse off than just doing what we can. So some people feel like, well, if I can't, like for example, I'm going on a trip in the month of April. So because I have this trip in the month of April, what most people will say is, oh, well, I can't do a no spend month because I have a trip planned in April. I feel as though that can still put you way behind, because yes, I have a trip planned for only a couple of days that I've already planned for, but I have so much more month that I can save money by not spending. And so what I love about my workbook is that you're able to decide what level it is that you want. So there's a couple of different levels, or 3 different levels that you can choose from. And let's go over those really quick. So the first level is for intermediate saving. So that's basically a strength level if you just want to cut out a certain category within your budget. So if you're saying, I want to cut out eating out because I know that's going to at least save me $500 for the month because I'm going to cook at home. So that's intermediate. And then impactful savings, this strength level, you cut out all non-essential spending, and you will not spend anything outside of your 4 walls. That's mortgage, rent, utilities, food, gas, etc. And then intense savings, I really love this one because it includes the impactful savings, but in this level, you're also focused on making extra money. You're picking up extra work shifts or side hustles or whatnot. So for myself, for this month, the level that I am going to be doing is really a combination of all 3, but I'm going to say that it is in between intermediate savings and impactful. Well, and intense. And the reason why is because I'm definitely going to be working on increasing my income, but I'm also not going to be spending any money outside of my 4 walls and then the trip. The trip is the reason why this is intermediate instead of just only intense, okay? So you can make your no spend be whatever you need it to be. And I know the purpose is to regulate our spending habits, to see what it is that we're spending our money on. But I believe that finances are fluid, and I just would hate for someone to say, well, I can't do it at all because I have a birthday or I have this one thing planned. And to be honest, the money that I'm using for this trip, I've already saved it. Like, it's already saved. So I'm really not even spending anything in this month. And that's also another tip, is that when you are going to plan for your no spend, to already save money for what you know is coming up. So you guys know that I've talked about that like a million times. Oh, whoops. I was supposed to put that down here. Let me get my white out. The time frame is going to be for the month of April. It's probably going to be for the rest of the doggone year, to be honest. So the time frame, yeah, you want to decide the time frame as well. For you, like I said, make it whatever you want. So what if weekends are your problem? So you're like, you know what? I'm going to do no spend challenges on the weekends. Or you might say, I only want to do 10 days of no spend challenges. So you do that, you know. But make it work for you, okay? So mine will be for the month of April, excluding the trip. But remember, the trip was already paid for, so, and that even will be budgeted as well. Okay. Oh, well, let me keep this out because I'm going to put it in the front. And then the last thing that I'm going to do, there are some other essential pages in here as well that kind of helps you with identifying like what roadblocks, well, not roadblocks, but how you're going to make sure that you don't accidentally spend money. Okay. Also, what I forgot to do is discover my why. And this is also an important part to this. And my why is because my income is impacted. Now, your why can change from month to month. It doesn't have to be the same for every year. Okay, so, or every month per se. You can change it up as much as you want. That's why I really love this digital product, because you can print out as many pages as you want and need to just do this forever. So yeah, my income is impacted, so that's the reason why I'm going on this no spend challenge for myself. And then now the last thing that I need to do is set up my calendar. And then I'm also going to set up, which I don't know if you guys know that I had this here, but I also have a income tracker in here as well, or income calendar, where here I'm able to write how much money I'm making every day. So for example, if I'm saying I want to make $5,000 for the month in extra money, I can break that down to how much I need to make every month or every week, or you know, on Saturdays or whatever it is. So I'm going to make sure I am completing that form as well. And I'm just going to put this here. This will be the no spend and the calendar here. I want to make sure that I keep my why front and center and my decide pages. Okay, this is why I love having a workbook that I can personalize for myself. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that here. If you are interested in this workbook, it will be linked down below as well. Okay, so we got this right here. And I'm actually going to complete the calendars on another post. Okay, I don't even know if you guys was able to see any of that. I didn't know I had it zoomed in the whole time. Oh my goodness, I feel crazy. I didn't talk about this whole thing. So yes, you have your discover pages, and then you have your decide pages that we talked about, and the no spend. So yeah, we talked about in here, you guys probably did see the levels and all that. I'm sorry, I did not know that my camera was zoomed in. I feel so horrible. Oh, bad. But yeah, so you discover your why, and then you decide your strength level and how long you're going to be on it. And then you have your no spend calendar here, and then you also have your income calendar as well. If you have any questions about any of the worksheets, please leave them down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. And this is pretty much it. I feel pretty okay. I have a plan for the month, and we're gonna, you know, work it out. But God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I will see you in the next one. Go be great, besties. Peace out.